Yes, what's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of BV Sports Show with myself, Joey, and my boy Garcia right there. Obviously, it's us two today, but you know what I'm saying? Same way we're going to get into it. Same
Holding
way,
it down.
Holding it down for the squad, you know what I'm saying? Chris couldn't be here, Nico couldn't be here, but we're here. We're still recording, we're still rolling. But as usual, man, we're going to get into it, bro, and just start with the top of the table as we usually do. Obviously, it's not you guys anymore, considering it was like 247 or 247 days at the top, and City were in top for 2 weeks. But we have to start with City, obviously beating Leeds 2-1 at home. Obviously, Sam Allardyce's first game back in management. What you saying? You wanna kick us off, or
just another day at the office?
Another day at the office for City.
Gundogan, innit? Turned up. Could have got a hat trick.
Missed the penalty.
I think Pep was fuming.
Haaland, I think Haaland still should have took it. Like, what's your take on it? Do you
100%. I think it was a more sentimental thing, innit?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, Haaland being a team player and
getting the hat trick. And
but I want to ask you as well, though, if it was you in a situation, if you was, for example, I'm going to ask you on both scales. If you was Pep, would you have been cool with that? Obviously, Pep is fuming, but if you was Haaland, what would you have done? So give me both flips.
If I was Pep, I'd probably be fuming. But it's hard to be fuming because he scored. That's the problem. He scored 2 goals for you to win you the game.
Won you the game.
It's one of them ones. You can see the desire for Pep, like he still wants to win the league. Everyone says, "Oh, they've won it too many times."
Yeah.
Like he's got that fire for it. Do you know what I mean? Haaland, they always say as a striker, you know what I mean. You want everything, and especially the fact that he's broken a record. You want to continue that.
Yeah. Considering he didn't even score yesterday as well, so
and he missed a few chances. He hit the bar, I think, a couple of times. Yeah, I might be fuming, man. But again, it gets down to Haaland as a person. You know what I mean? He looks like he's a humble guy. Like, I don't know if you saw the interview with Grealish when he spoke about
I see it.
The way they lived both their lives. The one goes home, has his takeaway with family. The other one goes out and lets his hair down. And
I like that. That. So that's why I've always been like a fan of Grealish, because he's just himself. And I feel like in football, especially in the English game, I feel like players have to refrain from being themselves because of how the media will portray them and the kind of scrutiny they'll get from it, innit? Yeah. Whereas when you look at NBA players, even in interviews and press conferences and stuff, they just speak their mind. They can express themselves, innit? So I think that's a divide between obviously the English and the American way, but in sport, obviously. But
well, you got to remember that back in the day, that players will casually be smoking. They will go pub after their game. And it was once Wenger and that coming, he sort of changed that.
Yeah.
So again, and then I think as a reporter, they're just looking for anything anyway.
Anything to make.
Because I guarantee you that was Sterling saying that.
Oh, uproar.
He'll be front page on the Sun straight away.
But no, not to stray away from the game too tough, innit? Obviously, Grealish didn't play. Got the evening off. I'm fuming too.
Pep roulette, fantasy,
roulette, as we say. Yeah. Haaland didn't get on the score sheet. Gundo wins the game for City, as we just spoke about. John Stones didn't even play. He got the night off as well.
Again.
Pep's saving some of the boys for the midweek against Real Madrid. Understandable, very understandable. But as you said, the job done regardless, isn't it? City still managed to take the 3 points away. Obviously, I think a lot of us real football heads thought possibly Sam Allardyce could have come there and come with some piece of shithousery to get a result. Man. But
you saw, I don't know if you see both goals.
Of course I saw them.
Carbon copy
goals, isn't it?
Two of the same.
You know what? We're going to get to Arsenal obviously afterwards, but Arsenal have scored a lot of goals from that similar
same as Chelsea.
Yeah.
Odegaard scored 2 similar goals, same thing.
Yeah, like the cutbacks on the edge of the box, or obviously
that's what they know.
Odegaard last week was in the box, but
first time finishes,
cutback shots from the first time finishes outside of the box on the little D. So man, City is still marching on, man. They're marching on.
But they're just doing what they do, man.
They need to do, innit?
Do you know what I mean? They got 2 teams there that can compete for the title.
Literally
compete for the title. Got Mahrez coming on, Gundogan coming on.
So do you reckon City are going to drop any points?
It's wishful thinking, isn't it? Like I said, it would have been between us and Brighton. You'd hope Everton will try and Sean Dyche, another guy that you think
it's not looking good for them.
Will take at least a point. But like I said, see me, zero expectations. I'm enjoying the ride, man. I'm enjoying the season.
That's what everyone's starting to say now.
I'm enjoying the season, man. Like I said, and obviously, I don't want to get. I'll leave that for when it comes to our time in a bit. But yeah, man, this is City, man. They've turned up now.
They've been there. They've done it, innit? We've been saying for months though. I keep saying it on the pod as well. It's like, when is City gonna turn up? When is City gonna turn up? And the business end of the season, when it really starting to count, like you've been saying for like the last few weeks, like April's where it's at. They've turned up. Do you know what I'm saying? So, in fairness, in regards to that, like I said, at the right time, innit?
Yeah, no, they done it, man. They killed the game off early, gave Leeds a little chance.
Edison can't keep a clean sheet to save his life this season, by the way. I don't think he's in my fantasy team. I'm taking a close eye. He hasn't kept a clean sheet in probably about 2 months in the league, anyway, if I'm not mistaken.
But then you look at the goals that they scored.
That's what I mean, though. They're so good attacking wise that they can concede.
But even now, they're shored up, though, man. They've shored up, man. Like they're pretty solid, man. They're firing all cylinders, man. From back to front.
That's what matters, isn't it?
They're just running things, man. Pep's finally found it. You know, his roulette is tinkered. He's found his formation now. And the thing is, everyone talks about Pep's used to having all the smaller players, this and that. You've seen his backline.
Backline's got full of centre backs, pretty much.
Dominant.
Dominant. Walker, yeah.
But look at Kyle Walker. You see how physical he is as well.
Yeah, he can fill in at centre half as well.
So that's a team that can either mix up. Like, you can't even go long no more. Like, you see how you could try and sort of bully Man City, try and do all that. Can't do that no more, man. Look what they bought in on the week. They bought Laporte on.
Yep.
So it's just, yeah, I feel like I think that's probably to his near perfect City team.
Do you reckon? Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
And just think of it.
Out of all the teams he's had throughout the years, I think that could be his near perfect. He's got the striker he probably wants.
Do you think though? I'm glad you said that, because in the summer, or not even in the summer, but during large parts of the season, I've looked at it and I've been like, Pep, at times I'm like, I don't think you should have sold Raheem Sterling. And I'd be like, I don't think you should have sold Gary or Jesus, because them two players specifically, they bring something that sometimes City do not have. For example, Sterling, he has the pace to run in behind and he's very direct.
He arrives at the right time, but then...
Exactly, but at the same time, Mahrez he doesn't run in behind. Grealish don't really run in behind. So at times when City are chasing it, not really, because they don't really often chase, but obviously there's been periods in the season where they have chased. It's like they don't have that different methodology to...
I think that's what I say about Haaland. I think I said it last week. He brings all of that in. You can go long to him. He will hold it up.
He can run in behind.
Or you run in behind. And I think that's what's made a lot of people or defenders scared, fearful. Like, he can go toe to toe with you. You can get to a scrap with him, like go shoulder to shoulder, or he's gonna beat you for pace. So they just mix up, or you've got man like Stones just breaking up playing.
Stones is looking like he's one of the best.
That's what I'm saying. And then
the mids in the league, and he's not even a centre midfielder.
With Grealish and whoever's playing on the other side, obviously Grealish has been the more consistent one on his side. He's hold his place down.
Yeah.
He just attracts everyone in, so he creates that space for other people to come in. Bernardo Silva balling as always. Brian has barely featured this. Well, he has featured, but
who?
De Bruyne.
No, obviously the business end of the season, he's come in and he's been superb.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
so
I think throughout the whole start of the season, I think Pep was always tinkering around. Got rid of Cancelo in was it January?
Yeah, January. Yeah.
And obviously, look, and I said that a couple of weeks ago in Kanji.
What a signing that was.
Cheap.
Underrated signing.
Cheaper than Zinchenko.
Underrated signing.
Was it like, I can't remember, was it like 15? It wasn't 15 mil? Something like that. I don't want to mislead any information, but Kanji, bro.
What a signing. That's an underrated signing of the season. I've been saying it for the past few weeks to off camera and stuff, but underrated signing of the season, man.
But the thing is, it's cheap. Cheap. Dirt cheap.
This is the thing, and that's another thing that's been brought up on social media and in the football community as well, is City haven't actually been spending astronomical money.
Who was it? Calvin Phillips, Haaland and Akanji.
Obviously, everyone will be like, oh.
But even Haaland wasn't that expensive.
But this is the argument I was about to allude to. Everyone will be like, oh, Haaland wasn't expensive. But when you look into agent fees, obviously the exterior payments necessary to get him into the club, like people be like, oh, Haaland was a lot more than 51 million.
They didn't really break the bank.
They didn't break the banks for him. They didn't have to. They hit a release clause, and then obviously the bonuses, etc. And all the other exterior stuff is what's made it what's making it obviously going to rise. But
he's making it worth all that.
City's model is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I can't even knock it. And everyone's like, oh, I don't want to see City win the league because they've won it 5 out of the last 6 seasons. But listen, man, when you really check City's philosophy and
it's like 7 years now. It's come down 7 years.
Yeah, it's like
6 years.
What they've done is phenomenal because they haven't thrown billions and not millions, but they haven't thrown astronomical money at it. They've been very strategic with where they brought in and who they brought in. And you correct me if I'm wrong, yeah. How many of their signings have gone wrong in the Pep era? Not many. Not many.
You say Mendy, but even Mendy sort of contributed a bit.
He contributed in their 16-17 season.
Yeah.
So you can't even knock him. Obviously, the extracurricular stuff you're not going to get into. But
then you put like Ake's always been a talented player. And
always been a talented player.
Now he's one of the best centre-backs or left-backs, whoever you want to call it.
Yeah. Versatile player, I should say.
And then you got people like Sergio Gomez. He's barely played, but you never know. He might do something.
Rico Lewis come through the academy. Phil Foden still there. Obviously, coming up with a goal last week as well, coming through the academy. Who else is there? Cole Palmer, another one, bright future, coming through the academy. Like City are still spending money, but they're still churning out.
Oh no, the way they got their academy set up, man.
You can't knock their system at all. Man. You can't knock their system at all. But yeah, man, we'll see. They got top of the league by 1 point. Obviously, you lot are still chasing them. We're gonna get to you lot in a minute. But before we move on to that, I want to give Sam Allardyce and Leeds a little moment. What do you think of the appointment of Sam Allardyce?
I mean, he's got a tough job, innit?
3 games. He's gonna pocket a good few million if Leeds survive as well. He's on 200 grand a week, if I'm not mistaken, for 4 games.
I don't know, man. I mean, he's definitely a man that knows what to do. Mm-hmm. He's been there. Mm-hmm. But is it a little bit too late? I don't know.
That's the question. That's the real question.
They waited so long with the injuries that they got.
They still got a strong chance of avoiding it.
Yeah.
Let's not mistake here, but it's just whether they can. They leaked too many goals. However, Leeds, as we know, for the last two seasons, Leeds can score goals. So
I think last season they had Rafinha as a sort of standout player. They haven't really had a standout. Obviously, they had Calvin Phillips as well.
Patrick Bamford he's been injured. A lot of injuries. That's killed them as well.
The only one, Nonto,
Rodrigo,
and Sinistera.
Yeah, Sinistera. Yeah.
And I don't know, man. It's that bottom one is a weird one to me.
Tight, isn't it?
It's very tight.
Very tight.
Because obviously you see Leicester, I thought 1 point they're gonna go down, but then I look at the goal difference.
Yeah,
their goal difference might save them.
Makes a very big difference.
It actually might save them, but
it's a very big difference.
I don't know, man. I think it might be a little bit too late for them, but who knows? You never know, man, with this relegation, because there's teams that I thought. Well, I think Southampton are definitely going.
Southampton are gone. To me, they're gone.
But I think it's probably between Leicester, Everton, Leeds, and possibly Forest, because Forest
as well. Yeah,
they will get that odd result and then they'll go back down.
Go back down again. Yeah,
like you see with Bournemouth, I think they've.
Oh, Bournemouth are fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're fine.
They've secured safety, but I think it's between those 3 teams.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Go down.
I'd say so.
But yeah, man.
I'd say so. But yeah, moving on obviously to the now chasers. Arsenal obviously was away to Newcastle United today, St James's Park. I'm not gonna talk too much on this one. I'll let you lead the line with this.
You know, everyone's on to us about, oh yeah, we've bottled the league, we're chasing, but I can't lie, man. I'm very happy with the result.
Oh, of course,
because I did not expect a lot.
I didn't expect it either.
No one expected it.
I didn't expect it either.
To leave St. James's Park with a clean sheet
and 3 points.
And it could have went wrong for us because they
hit the post about
they started. I can't. When Murphy hit that post, I think, oh, this might be a long day.
Long day. First 5-10 minutes as well.
Yeah.
I was like, raw.
And then when I looked at the time, it said 10 minutes. I thought, okay, we ain't gonna get popped. We ain't gonna get popped by that. You know what I mean? That Spurs and that. But you know what I mean?
Well, I thought when he hit the post, I thought.
That's what I thought. I thought
no,
to start.
Newcastle gonna give Arsenal
that front three. Even Willock was looking dangerous.
Very dangerous. Very dangerous. Shout out to him, by the way.
He had a good game, to be fair.
Had a good game still.
And then we needed that goal. Odegaard.
Very
crucial. And again, Martinelli, a bit unfortunate to get subbed again.
Get into it. Obviously, we spoke about it off camera. I want you to get into it on this one still. Cause I feel like a lot of light needs to be shone on this particular subject. I
will say Saka, I think it might be time to just bench him. Not if obviously his performance ain't been the best, but obviously like today he was getting a lot of attention in that game. Like
which he has been. He has been getting.
Burns was on to him every time, like on his arse every time.
Not allowing him to turn.
Don't let it turn. And I hear that sometimes it creates that space. That's all what Grealish is doing at City, where he brings all that pressure, creates more space for other people. But it just gets to a point where now he's always subbing Martinelli off, and he's keeping Saka for the full 90. And then even like people like Trossard, I think Trossard deserves another start, man.
He deserves minutes. He deserves more minutes than he's getting.
You never know what's going on in it. Like I said, Arteta's he's got enough credit in the bank now for this season, so I don't really want to doubt him. And I think today, last few weeks he's got his subs a bit wrong, personally, but I think today he got it right. 65th or something minute, he subbed Zinchenko off after Murphy made him. Don't know what he done to him there.
And Kieran Tierney came in today, and
that's what I'm saying. He shored things up.
Yeah, he was solid. Yeah,
and Xhaka as well. Couple of big challenges there, you know.
Yeah. Especially
last minute
to stop Willock
and Joe Linton.
Yeah.
And then again, Jorginho, real leader. See the work that he does.
Unsung hero at that.
Unsung hero because he's an organizer. Like if I don't know if you're watching carefully, he's always organized, like giving instructions, like just calming the play. Like he's not an extravagant player. He'll go hidden under the radar, but the way he keeps like the whole team organized, and that's what I was saying before. The last few weeks, I think we really missed him. Look at the big difference against Villa.
He's keeping Partey out of the team, bro.
Well, no, but it's true that Partey he's kept himself out of the team now because of his performances, and I think Jorginho should have been. We bought him for a reason.
Of course.
I think
he's got the experience. He's got
like I said, Arteta should have realised that a bit earlier and started him.
Yeah.
Because look what he done against Villa again. Won us that game. But yeah, man, I think Arteta got his subs right this time. Changed at the right time.
Yeah, he did. I'll give him his credit.
Took Odegaard off, put Partey on, add that bit of insurance there for us, like at the back, or just breaking up play. And then the same with Trossard. And it sort of showed that like we've got people that we can bring off the bench
to make an impact.
Yeah. Or to just
show things up.
Yeah.
And
I think, man, we pressed them a lot. We did get lucky a few times. So saved us a bit. And Ramsdale again, another big save. A couple saves.
Made a couple.
Yeah, man. Big result, man. Martinelli again, unfortunately, I think he needs to be kept on. I don't know why what he's seeing in Saka to keep him on for the full 90, because I feel like Martinelli has got more of a reason to stay on.
Yeah, I agree, because especially the second goal come from Martinelli.
That's what I'm saying, direct
as well. So I thought he's definitely much more dangerous than what Saka was, especially over the last 3 weeks. So
I don't know, man. Like I said, obviously I believe in Saka anyway. That's my guy, and
of course.
I'll never go against him because what he's done for us, what he's brought us. Do you know what I mean? It's time for other players to step up as well.
Yeah,
which they're doing. But yeah, man, and also a shout out to Kivio.
Yeah, he deserves it. He He didn't get away with it, but I don't know.
It wasn't a pen.
It wasn't a penalty.
It wasn't a pen.
Listen, Arsenal fans, it wasn't a penalty.
It wasn't a penalty. The fact that VAR even asked the ref to actually go look at it, bro.
Yeah. You blatantly see come off his knee, innit?
Do you know what I mean? Little things like that, and that's the thing that I know about VAR, because I don't want to be that guy that goes, VAR cost us points, because bro, if you look at Brentford, we should have had that 3 points. 3 points there, and the United game at Old Trafford. But again, all we're gonna get is a sorry in it.
I hear you. So, bro, we didn't even get a sorry last week.
Yeah.
We didn't get a sorry last week. Man. Sure.
But yeah, nah, man, big result, man. Because a lot of teams do not lose St. James Park this season.
And let's not forget, this time last season, you went to St. James Park and you folded.
We folded big time.
So to come back a year later and pull off a result like that,
and especially to not start as bright as them,
and
to sort of bring it back.
They come at you fast.
And another thing, I think Odegaard's seeing all the hate on him. You know,
do you reckon?
I think he's noticed it. He's stepped up this game
the last 2 weeks
because obviously he's had a good season, but never said, he ain't doing what
he was doing in
or
the
De Bruyne or what
games.
De Bruyne has like proved that he's better than him.
Yeah.
And I think today he really stepped up. Like he was actually brave, actually looking for the ball.
Like
trying to control the tempo. Along with Jorginho, both of them were trying to control the tempo of the game. Like he could have got a second goal there. Good save from Pope, but yeah, man. I don't know. Good result.
I'll be honest though, yeah.
We keep moving, man.
Sorry to cut you. I'll be honest though. Good result. Still keep up the chase. But I don't want to sway away from Newcastle partially because I feel like they could have been so much better today though.
But okay, so this is why I was even happy. I was like,
they didn't.
Cool. Say we don't win the league.
Yeah.
We kind of humbled them.
You reckon?
I think so.
Speak on it.
I think we humbled them a bit because they obviously I didn't fancy it. I'll be real. I didn't fancy it at all.
Most Arsenal fans I spoke to haven't fancied it.
Yeah, and obviously and the Newcastle fans probably thought they had us.
Yeah,
they thought they could probably smack us as well.
And the funniest part about it is after that second goal went in, you silenced the ground.
Yeah, we silenced because I can't lie, man. That ground, like, obviously I wasn't even there, but you could hear it.
Bro, I've been to that ground
imagine
a couple times, and I'm telling you, they don't stop, and you lot silence them.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could hear the Arsenal fans actually singing, Forever North London,
and right, and the gods as well.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm that's something where I was happy about the result because I was nervous, and it showed us, you know what, like we're still where we deserve, where we supposed to be. Like you lot ain't pushing us for that spot, or do you know what I mean? We kind of humbled them, man.
No, it's a good.
We showed them a bit of levels.
Massive result still.
We've still got, and this is the thing about Arsenal. Like what we've been missing for the last few years is that the certain players that show that there's a difference of quality. So I see how City showed us
levels.
There's levels. We sort of showed Newcastle, and then obviously we got to hit that next level. Do you know what I mean? And that's why again, now, bro. That's why I'm not pissed that if we don't win the league. It's bittersweet for me, but for once, like the first time, I actually feel like we're going in the right direction because. This is a game that historically would have bottled as well. Everyone's saying, this is where everyone's... Again, because we showed it last few weeks. So we showed that we could bounce back.
Respect's due.
And our away record I think it's the best in the league now.
Is it?
Something like that. I believe it is.
Fair play. I didn't know that. Fair play.
I think it is.
Fair play. Wow. All right, cool.
Because if you think about it, we haven't really... Liverpool got a point. Southampton got a point, lost at United, lost at City. Other than that, I think everywhere else we've collected W's. I believe so.
I mean, it makes sense.
I believe so.
Makes sense. Shout out to you lot.
Yeah, man, like I said, bittersweet moment for me, but I'm happy about that Newcastle win because a lot of teams were scared. Other people are getting how scared in it. But yeah.
Before we move on though, and I think I've asked this question in weeks prior, but obviously Chelsea have had an off season this season.
Liverpool. We still talk about Chelsea.
I mean, we can't not ignore it a minute. But I hear you. I agree, and I hear you.
London's red now, isn't it?
At the moment, obviously Liverpool have had an off season as well, but they're starting to find some form at the moment at the right time. We're gonna get to them soon as well. Spurs have been poor. Even though they started off well. We're gonna get into them obviously also as well. You lot are challenging, of course. Newcastle are gonna bring it next year. I'm sure they're gonna have a big summer as well. Do you still see Arsenal challenging and being in a similar position next season, considering Man United are gonna come harder as well next season? Everyone's gonna be stronger next season.
This is why I was happy about today's result. This is why I was happy about today's result because it showed us that, you know what, doesn't matter whether they're playing good football, Newcastle, whether they got a rocking stadium. We showed that we've got the mentality to go to a place like St. James's Park, whether they're the team in form. we're the underdogs, sort of, because obviously, even though we beat Chelsea, but prior to that, obviously, we weren't doing the best. And we showed that, you know what, like, we're Arsenal, like, we're here, we can still come here now and actually get a result off you lot. And again, the players like Odegaard's now stepping up. Martinelli. And I hear it that they can get the players, but now I see us as that, because this is the problem that I had as well, is that for the last few years I didn't see us as an attractive club anymore. I couldn't see us attracting the big names or the potential big names. I feel like now we might not get we might not get the superstars, but I feel like there's players that now looking at, and because they'll look at the club now, obviously London, whatever,
and see it's going in the right direction.
Going in the right direction, Champions League football now. Plus the manager now. There's actually a manager they think, you know what, I can go and actually improve under or become a great there, because if Pep comes calling, I actually want to go play for Pep. Same with that. I think Mourinho still got that pull as well. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, Klopp's got the pull.
Klopp, same thing. So, and that's what I feel like now. We might not be able to spend on like 5 key signings or give massive wages. Even though I feel like we can give big wages.
I hear you.
Can't get the Judes in that, I don't think. But regardless, I feel like we can still attract them top European players that can come and play for us now.
I hear you, but this is the spanner I'm going to throw in the works.
Go on.
So you see how, obviously, like again, as I was saying, last season you went to St James's Park and you lost.
Yeah, crumbled.
And you got
boxed off the park. We didn't turn up.
Now then, a space a year since now, a year since then, you lot are a completely different side. Yeah. So my argument now is, why can't same thing happen, but in reverse? So Newcastle comes.
Oh no, they can.
Same thing without, because remember, Arsenal haven't done major spending over the last year. No. You've brought in Zinchenko, Jesus, Jorginho in the last 6 months, but obviously, like, it's not a massive change. And let's be real, Newcastle's team is still pretty much the same team. Bar a few additions to the team that was facing relegation last season.
Yeah.
So why can't they add 1 or 2 additions?
Oh, no, of course they can. Or
maybe even 3 additions and change the whole landscape and go even to that next level. Do you get what I'm saying?
100% they can. But
as you know, football's an ever-changing thing. Well, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying?
Look at the position that we're in now. Like, no one expected us.
That's my point, though.
Everyone looked at us and thought, "Oh, this guy, they couldn't even make top 4." Now,
so that's what I'm saying.
We're finishing second.
That's why I think next season is going to be one of the biggest seasons I think in May, possibly.
Yeah, you know, there's a big hype in it, because obviously you got the whole Ten Hag there now.
It's not even just that. There's so many teams that are going to be in and around that are going to be trying to compete now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Obviously, I think the biggest one was obviously Newcastle. Everyone's just looking at what they're going to do.
But look at you lot. You lot are doing well now. You lot got a strong core.
Yeah.
With a manager that's comfortable.
Thing. Like, say we don't win this league now.
I don't think you lot are going to challenge. I'll be honest with you. I don't feel like you lot are going to challenge next season. I think you lot are going to challenge for top 4 and be in the top 4. But I don't think you lot will challenge for the league next season. That's why I think this is.
So who do you reckon is going to challenge for the league?
I reckon Liverpool are going to come back again.
You reckon?
Yeah. I reckon Liverpool are going to come again. I reckon United are going to come harder again as well. I reckon it's going to be to be completely honest with you, I reckon it's going to be a tight race between City, Liverpool and United. I reckon United, depending on the takeover, I reckon United are going to come hard next year. I reckon they are, especially if they were to bag Harry Kane. And I got a couple Man United diehards that are thinking, oh, Harry Kane's not going to be able to do enough to change Man United, especially defensively. But if United get Harry Kane, I can't lie. I can't see them not challenging.
Like I said, man,
I can't see them not challenging.
For us, we've got more of a say in transfer as well now. I feel like we can actually now, like I said, we can attract people. They've seen what Arteta can do to players. Transform the likes of Xhaka. Look at Saka balling at Martinelli, top goal scorer. Odegaard, who was a Real Madrid reject. Main man now. Made him captain quick.
I hear it, but I just don't know if you lot have the minerals to challenge again. I don't know.
I said, do you know what it is that I'm hopeful in it because of the fact that we've gained experience. We've been in a title race now. We've crumbled under pressures now. We crumbled last season at St James's Park. A lot of them players were there last season that were here that played in this game, and I feel like they've learned from it. So we're picking up experience at the same time. It's just now, like I said, we have to do something with it now. So for me personally, I'll give us 2 more seasons to win the league, and then we'll be like, if not, we got to jump ship with Arteta. Because obviously he's had his time now. Title challenge this year. Next season, I'll give him another one, like see how it goes, and then I think give him a couple more. Because there's only so far he can take us after that as well. But then again, you never know. You look at people like Simeone as well. And again,
I like Simeone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he's won 2 leagues, to be phased down the world, because that's another club that don't have a big financial power competing with the Madrid and the Barca. They still managed to get 2 leagues out of that, even though they dominated.
Yeah,
I said, I'll probably give Arteta couple more seasons. But again, he can build a dynasty there for himself as well.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said what you just said is an interesting take. I'm not gonna lie.
Because obviously, it's hard. Because obviously, when it comes as an Arsenal fan, used to like seeing them win the league and then challenging to now we're up and up again. Do you know what I mean? We got to get something out of it. There has to come to a point where you have to get something out of it, man.
I hear you.
You can be optimistic as much as you want, but it gets to a point
where you want to see proper results now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got credit in the bank from the FA Cup, and
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Give him a couple more seasons. Like this is his team now. This is the players that represent like his philosophy. Do you know what I mean? He's got rid of almost the half or almost the whole of the dead weight, whatever you want to call it.
Hang on, I hear you still.
But yeah, man.
But yeah, obviously we're gonna move on to obviously West Ham versus Man United. Obviously Man United dropping points and West Ham taking all 3.
Up the hammers.
I was saying up the hammers. Nico will be pissed. He's gone on a holiday
again,
and United
shock.
let him down again.
Shock.
Oh, poor guy. Nico, don't go on holiday, bro. You have to be on the sofa.
Come represent your team, man.
Your team on the
hold
sofa,
it down.
Man. That's the only time that they hold you down, bro. But yeah, obviously, I can't have the shock result for me, bro, because I thought United would go there and win. But then again, they've dropped points. Obviously,
their away record's
Brighton
poor,
as well.
And I guarantee if Nico was there, he'll be saying the same thing, man.
David De Gea blunder again.
And somehow he's probably still going to get Golden Glove.
Golden Glove. Like, crazy. That's another thing I want to say as well. Where are we at with that? Because De Gea is about to get Golden Glove. However, we can list off a couple situations.
He's got the most mistakes out of all the four leagues, I think, something like that.
I see that stat. I didn't know if it was true, but I believe you.
He's got the most errors.
I thought that was one of them silly little Twitter stats. But
they're fleck.
Yeah, fairs. Yeah, fairs. See, with that, it's like, how is a keeper that's making all these blunders?
Do you know what it is? Because he's made good saves as well. That's the problem.
He's kept them in it. He's kept them in a lot of games as well. So I suppose you've got to take the rougher with the smooth. However, the guys, you've been there over 10 years. And I don't know, obviously with Ten Hag and the way football's evolving now, your goalkeepers need to be good with their feet. He's not good with his feet. However, he's an amazing shot stopper, but at the same time, he's got these blunders in him every so often. It's tight, man, and I know a lot of...
It's West Ham as well. This is a team fighting for safety as well.
Safety is also... They should be going there and winning, taking 3 points, innit? And they've given Liverpool a sniff at top 4 now. Yeah. 3 points behind them, which we'll get to. What are we saying then? Overall, like, obviously Liverpool on their tails. Do we think
Liverpool now?
Liverpool on United and Newcastle's tails. Obviously, Newcastle got a bit more breathing space than United do. But do you reckon Liverpool can outdo United and take it?
Do you know, I feel like it might be a little bit too late, man. I was saying this, I don't know. Like, I can see Liverpool probably winning all the rest of their games now. But I feel like with United, they probably just need 1 or 2. Well, I think they need 11 points to actually secure top 4 in it.
I mean, they got 3 games left.
Yeah.
No, they got 4 games left. I lied. They got 4 games left.
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm saying. I think the game in hand might save them. I think they might just scrape through.
Remains to be seen. I don't know, because they're away. That's what I want to get into. That's what I want to segue to. Is what their away record. Their away record ain't good at all. Their home record's amazing. Their away record ain't good.
I don't know, man. I just, again, with Liverpool, man, I just think this might be a little bit too late. And again, that's why I feel like with United, I think that game in hand might just save them.
But
like you say as well, You'd rather points on the board
than games in hand.
Yeah.
I've been saying it all season, and now I'm hoping for the teams with the games in hand. Because we ain't got the points, but we'll get to us in a minute. What else we got to say about United right now? Because
but this is what I'm saying. Like
they're kind of struggling to score goals all of a sudden. It's like they struggled with Brighton.
Yeah, Rashford's not banging no more.
Yeah, his form is dropping now.
Cold.
So it's like without Rashford scoring goals, it's like there's no
and
real,
without Bruno doing nothing either.
And if Bruno can't do everything from midfield. Yeah. And Anthony, I don't know what Anthony's on, bro, but he's not pulling up no trees. So
I don't know, man.
United is just they need a number 9.
And the thing is, you see, Martial done alright.
He did,
but he needs more of a run of games as well.
But he's not helping himself. It's his problem why he's not getting run of games.
I mean, it's hard to keep fitting it.
Yeah, so
I don't know, man.
There's not much to say.
There's not much to say, man. They're toothless, isn't it? They're pretty much toothless. And I don't know what's the difference. Whether it's the crowd at Old Trafford that just spurred them on or what.
That's probably what it is.
But then again, to be fair, West Ham is a tough. At this point, there's a team that's
fighting for relegation,
and they're doing it right now. They're getting points as well.
They've pretty much made sure they're safe for this win tonight.
Yeah, 100%.
Declan Rice, but I think we got to move on to West Ham because there's not much to say about United.
Yeah, Declan
Rice was superb today.
He's
Lucas Paqueta, superb today.
Yeah.
Even Mikel Antonio, he was superb today as well. All three of them.
Moving like some NFL player, bro, just running through, man.
But he was holding up the ball well. He turning and running.
Nah, man. I like Antonio as a striker. Cause he might not give you the goals you want, but I feel like he really adds.
He gives you something, and he gives you an outlet.
Definitely,
I'll give him that. He gives you
an outlet. He'll give most defenders a headache.
Now, shout out to West Ham. Obviously, he's managing to most likely survive.
Rice has been watching Paqueta a bit because he's moving crazy on the ball.
Yeah, he was sick today. I can't lie.
He's moving flary on the ball, inside the box as well.
Yeah, he should have really. He should have scored with the. He should have scored, obviously.
And then the goal to Salah as well. To be fair, West Ham.
But Souček, obviously.
But yeah, man, I think United. Well, I really hope they don't get top 4.
God,
I want Liverpool to get top 4.
Liverpool breathing down their necks, man.
I want Liverpool to get that Champions League spot, man.
I'm torn. I'm very torn. Man. I'm torn. For obvious reasons, I'm torn, man. But
yeah, man, we'll wait till the end of the season, man. Let's hope,
bro.
Let's hope, man. I hope United crumble, man. But
I don't know. Brighton has still got 2 games in hand as well, so they're not even out of the mix. It's crazy. It's crazy right now.
To be fair, we got them on Friday, I think.
Big game. Big game. Big game.
I think that might be a game we might need to outscore them.
I hear it. Well, you got them home or away?
Home. We beat them away.
Interesting.
That's what I'm saying. We've collected big points away as well. Obviously, apart from the seat and Old Trafford, we've actually collected good points away from home.
Oh, I'm not talking about Arsenal.
Yeah. Let's not go back to that. But still,
if you got too much airtime these days, I'm not enjoy it.
But yeah, man. Now, Brian, man. They all fancy themselves to get in and around. I think for them is at least Europa, man.
You reckon?
I think they deserve Europa.
Yeah, they deserve Europe. They're guaranteed for Europe. Guaranteed for Europe. I don't see it not happening. But
Villa fell off.
Well, they haven't fallen off. They lost this weekend.
Yeah.
They messed up my bet as well. Because I was the only team I needed to win. And that would have made me a few quid, but pissed. But anyway, moving on. Liverpool obviously beating Brentford 1-0 at home yesterday. Obviously, the headlines will be about the King's coronation and the booing and etc. But we're impartial at BV and we're not going to get into that.
Yeah, we're just talking football.
Just strictly talk football, as you just said. 6 straight wins at Anfield. They're charging. That's a late charge, but they're charging. Mo Salah scoring in, 9 consecutive games at Anfield, beating the record of who is it? Is it Robbie Fowler? Robbie Fowler was got
something like that. I think he's got 100 goals at Anfield 9 way.
Yeah, he's got 100 goals at Anfield, 100 goals away from home and at home.
Last
Crazy
3 seasons, 30 plus.
Phenomenal forward, phenomenal player.
Can't lie.
Definitely a Liverpool legend as well.
I think earlier in the season, I will say it's time to sell him.
Nah, I can't sell him.
Yeah, I can't lie. I've got to take that back, man.
Can't sell him.
He ain't been fantastic this season at all. I'll be real.
He hasn't,
but somehow he's managed to get 30 plus goals for them.
Crazy.
So, big ratings to that because he's gone under the radar.
Shout out to them. Obviously, I want to say as well, Trent had a great game yesterday as well. He had a good
when
game
you get him on the ball. That's the thing. He's always. That's the thing. If you can get him on the ball, then you can get the best out of him.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying like last week as well. Like the way they're trying to like accommodate for him. Like now they're forcing people like Van Dijk, Kanate out when out of possession. They're sort of forcing him into like a right back role and then giving that protection. But you're gonna get like he's one of the best on the ball. Like he's their playmaker basically, more or less.
Yeah, he is. He pretty much is. Yeah, he pretty much.
Because the balls that he was putting in, like if it wasn't for Darwin, you would have got a few. They would have got a few more goals. So again, I don't think. Yeah, man. That's. I think that's one challenge they've got to sort of fix for next season. I think that's what Klopp.
Bro, they're so close to top 4, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
How have they managed to do this?
This is what I'm saying. Because they've gone on that run, innit? And like I said,
crazy run.
Teams around, obviously, we've
helped them.
Yeah.
Spurs have helped them massively.
Yeah.
Spurs for them massively.
And obviously last week was a massive result.
Yeah. Even though they shouldn't have got away with it, but, can't do nothing.
And then Newcastle United dropping points.
United dropping points now. That's
the thing. And once again, just their team, like I said, they're a top-heavy team right now.
Perfect way to put it.
So they're good. That's what's going to help. Might get them over the line, even though I think it might be a bit too late. I'll be very surprised if they make it through. Like I said, I won't be surprised if they win all their games, but I feel like with United again, they might just scrape it through, man. But with Liverpool, man, they're doing their thing. They're quietly going around the business now.
They're doing their business quietly, yeah. Creeping. Obviously moving on to Spurs.
You was there live and direct, man.
Live and direct as usual. You know me, Tottenham Joe, I'm there. As always. Obviously we beat Palace 1-0 yesterday. Result doesn't tell the full story. Obviously you'd think it was tight, and it was. To be honest with you, we were in full control of the game.
Kept a clean sheet
for the first time in a very long time. If you got me on social media, you'll see my posts. You'll see what I say. Eric Dyer, get ready to learn Chinese, buddy.
Why?
Spurs kept a clean sheet. He didn't play.
Oh, he didn't play?
He didn't play
at all.
He come off the bench for the last 3-4 minutes to go to disrupt the win. But when I tell you, Garcia, bro, we defended well yesterday. It was mind blowing watching.
And the thing, but that's what I'm saying, because obviously Emerson came back into the squad as well.
Another man that he was being shoehorned into right wing back. He's not right wing back. Conte, I trusted you. I always have, always will, and I still think you should be here to this day because we still be in the top 4 in and around it if you were still here. My opinion, whether you agree with it or not, is another thing. Spurs fans, most of you don't, whatever. But he's been shoehorned in a position that he's not made for. Emerson Royale is a right back. He's not a wing back. He hasn't got the capabilities to go forward. However, defensively, we obviously were speaking about it off camera, but defensively, he's solid, man. He's solid. He knows what he's doing. He's more of a defender than he is an attacker, as obviously as it is. He was good yesterday. Pedro Porro, my brother. I've been dying for a fullback or a wingback that plays on the right side to be able to cross.
Yeah, because I've seen
starved of it for 2 seasons, 3 seasons. I've been starved of it.
Yesterday, right? Yeah, you lot took that responsibility, that defensive responsibility away from him now.
Yeah, exactly. And you see, comes up with a peach of a cross for Harry Kane's goal. Obviously, shout out to the boy, 209 Premier League goals, second in the all-time list, on his way to catching Shearer.
Well on his way, man.
Well, I've run out of superlatives for this
guy.
Do you reckon
he'll break it at United?
He will.
Well, at United.
Oh, man. Oh, I don't even want to think of it. I don't even want to think of him in another shirt, man. But he's been done wrong, innit? I can't even not the kid. He's been done wrong, however, he could have done more on his side as well, as I've always alluded to. If you know me, you know what I say about Harry, man. He's had his moments to do things for us, and we're not going to get into the whole Spurs trophies. We're not going to do that today. But I can't just deny it. The guy's phenomenal, man. Harry Kane is phenomenal. The amount of times he's just pulled us up out of obviously a lot, and the big notion is he scores in games that don't mean nothing. He does things in games that doesn't really. That's not the crunch. He scores in games that there's nothing riding on it. His goals are worthless. This, that, and the other. But Are his goals really worthless? Considering they got us into...
You got to be... That's the thing, man. I feel like everyone's too harsh on Harry Kane, man, because he's keeping you in and around the top 4, regardless. With all them goals.
2026
this is what I'm
Premier
saying.
League goals this season in a poor Tottenham side.
This is what I'm saying. He can't help the defensive, the back line.
Eric Dyer has cost us at least 10 points this season. Fact. At least 10 points this season, alone on his mistakes.
Yeah.
We'd be comfortably in the top 3 had he not done that.
Do you blame him? Because cool, you blame for the mistakes, but like he was forced into that centre back position. He naturally is a DM.
He signed when he first signed, and this was my first away game. Upton Park, August 2015.
But he wasn't bad when he first come through.
But this is my point. When he first
remember, he was playing for England. He's got a free kick in the Euros.
That's 2018, but I'm saying this first game, his debut, West Ham away, Upton Park. My first ever away day, yeah. He won us the game playing right back on his debut. He scored on his debut and we won 1-0 at Upton Park. I thought we signed the right back. Turns out he's a centre midfielder or defensive midfielder. Yeah. So he's gone from right back to centre midfield to central defensive midfield, playing alongside Moussa Dembele, who made him look better than he was, which is the reason why he's probably still here to this day. So now he's fallen back to centre half and he's just been a calamity for the most part. Bar the beginning of this season where he had a good little spell and obviously got himself into the England side again. You better learn Chinese, buddy. I'm telling you, I've had enough, man. I can't. He looks so, like, whenever he hasn't played, we've looked so much better. Yeah. In the small little period where he hasn't played, but I'm not even going to speak on Eric Dyer too tough, man. I just want to give Harry Kane his flowers for still keeping us alive somehow. Yeah, man, but... Other
than that, not much, man.
Hugo Lloris hasn't played his last game for us against Newcastle in that 6-1 loss, obviously.
Forster's got his little run.
Shout out to Forster as well, man. He's been okay. He's been good since
this is the thing. When you look at Tottenham, you see a lot of them players that are coming in, you don't look at them as being permanent.
Long mainstays?
Yeah. And again, like I said, look at Ryan Mason. He's doing the job. He's getting the best out of the players that he's got right now.
Yeah, he's been unfortunate with 2 results, to be fair.
That's what I'm saying.
From poor starts. Obviously, defense has cost us all season. Yeah, really. But yeah, man.
But I heard you lot got Xabi Alonso on.
Obviously, there's been talk that Vincent Kompany signed a 5-year deal today. He ain't coming. Xabi Alonso, I reckon that's another smoke screen. I reckon I see
Nagelsmann positive talks apparently.
Apparently. Obviously, the ideal candidate's Nagelsmann for me. Obviously, I've said previously I wanted Gallardo. Gallardo is who I truly want. However, I don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. But realistically, with the managers that are being touted, Nagelsmann's the main one. I wouldn't be surprised, bro, if Nagelsmann falls pear-shaped and Mason takes over. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't want it to happen, but I think Mason needs to go and prove himself somewhere and build his career up. But knowing Spurs and how Spurs are, bro, I can just see a calamity happen. The next thing I know, we're starting the season with Mason in charge.
Yeah, man. Because I feel like if you lot get if Kane does go, that money that you got in the bank, I think that's what's gonna you got to really see what you lot do that, because you lot messed up with the Bale money.
I'm having this conversation yesterday with my barber.
You lot really messed up that. You lot got a massive fee and all the players that you actually got.
And I was saying to my barber yesterday, if we sold Kane and we had a lump of money, like 100 million, for example, I was saying to him, I could see us cocking it up again and doing something wrong, doing it wrong again with the players. But then he gave me a bit of confidence and said, nah, you lot have had, he's an Arsenal fan as well, by the way. He said, nah, you lot have had experience now in regards to having a shed load of money and having to reinvest into the squad. So he said, this second rebuild that you're about to have, or third rebuild, or whatever you want to call it,
I think it depends on the manager as well.
That's another thing. But he's saying, I reckon Levy has a bit more experience in regards to what to do when it comes to having to rebuild after a major player sale. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I don't even want to think about it or talk about it too tough, man, because it's just going to stress me out. But it's a massive, massive, massive summer for Spurs, man.
That's the thing.
Summer.
That's what, like you said before. A lot of teams have got big summers coming up.
Massive summer. It's probably going to be the biggest summer in our modern era. In the last 15, 20 years, probably going to be.
Well, it depends if Kane does
see where
go.
we go. Yeah, see where we happen, because we never been in this much of a
Better, wasn't it? You had
rut. But the bell for me wasn't in a rut because we wasn't in and around it the way we are now. Do you get what I'm saying?
True.
So, yeah, man, I think it's a pivotal.
And the thing is, you don't want to fall behind now.
Exactly, this is my point.
Because you've got people like Newcastle now or potentially overtaking you now.
It's a pivotal summer. Daniel Levy, roll your socks up, man, because I know you ain't going nowhere. So, yeah, but before we move on from Spurs, I want to ask you as well. Do you see Harry Kane breaking Shearer's record though? True.
Yeah.
You reckon he'll do it?
Yeah. If he goes United.
If he goes, so for argument's sake, he stays at Spurs. Do you think he won't? I reckon he'll still do it.
Probably, yeah.
Spurs.
But then it's just the direction where you lot go as well.
You go in the trophies, etc., etc., etc.
That's the thing, because obviously you look at it on a personal level. Is he happy? Like, with that record, but then he's got nothing. He's got that to look back as. Yeah, I'm the top goal scorer for the Prem, but then there's no major trophies, man.
If you were a Spurs fan, or if you was like a Spurs correspondent, who would you have? Harry Kane went. Who would you replace him with?
It's hard, man, because like I said, I was before, like the same with like Arsenal, like that pulling power. You guys ain't got that pulling power at the moment. I think a few seasons before you would. But then again, you lot had that. You was cursed because you had that very strong first 11. So anyone that was coming in, they knew they would probably come in second fiddle, especially with Harry Kane. I don't know, man. There's no other striker. What striker would you look at? Like, you can't even go for like a Callum Wilson no more either.
Callum Wilson's too old now.
But regardless, like before, you probably could go with someone like a Danny Ings, but Danny Ings is not popping up. That's what I'm saying. No,
it's not a level.
The
only replacement
in and around,
the only realistic replacement that I'd be happy.
And you've got him already. I'll say Richarlison. That's it.
Ivan Toney, but obviously he's got his gambling issue hanging over his head. But if he was clean, which I hope hopefully he busts his situation or whatever, Ivan Toney, man. For me, Ivan Toney.
But this is the problem now, and the problem you've got is now because you haven't got a manager. It's the style that you want to play, the profile play that you want.
But I think Ivan Toney's got so much to his game.
Yeah, he does.
That he can probably play under if not majority of managers.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So,
but just again, I think it just depends on that manager that's coming. That's the problem as well, because you don't want to have players. You don't want the manager to come to Tottenham and then Levi's already sanctioned. I want this guy already. Like, he's already coming in. So now that manager's got to deal with this new player coming in, and then you sort of want that manager. Whoever's coming in, they've got to say who they want. Do you know what I mean? So they get to mold that. Like, was what Poch done. He created that Tottenham team into his own.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah, man.
Last thing on Spurs, I want to ask you as well, and I'll chime in as well on my little theory. What's realistic for Spurs for the ending to the season? Obviously, last 3 games. Europa League, Conference League.
You can scrape either. It's down to you lot. It's still in your hands, sort of. Do you know what I mean? You can keep the Brightons at bay, Liverpool at bay, I reckon.
For me, if it's not Europa League or Champions League, obviously Champions League is highly unlikely at this point now. But if it's not Europa League, I don't want Europe. I want to finish 8th. No Europe. 1 game a week. Let's cook.
Yeah, could do. But then again, you're gonna miss out on players.
I don't mind. I don't think.
But the thing's but you need to rebuild. That's the thing. You can't like. And the thing, and the problem is again is your manager. You don't know who you have. I'll take it back to Arsenal. Like, cool, we didn't get Europe, nothing, or we got Europa, but he sort of transformed those sort of players. Who do you know that's gonna transform them players that you got in around? Because they've been there for centuries now, or not centuries. I know.
But there's a few men that've been there.
Do you know what I mean? We didn't really have that.
I don't think no Europe. Because look, you had no Europe, and you still got Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko, and Jorginho.
Well, we had Europa, innit?
Oh yeah, Europa, yeah, fair.
And you got to remember the relationship he had with City as well. I think that's what helped a lot.
Helped you, yeah. To be fair, but still, I don't think no Europe will stop us from signing players, because I still think players are going to come to Spurs knowing we're still going to be challenging for Europe regardless.
But do you think Harry Kane's another part of an attractive?
Of course, playing with Harry Kane.
This is what I'm saying. So if he does go, I think that might affect you.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
Because they come and say, I'm going to come play one of the best strikers in the world.
It's a good point.
Son as well at one point. I think he's finding that old form again.
Yeah, he is.
Another thing I'm going to say, do you think Conte might have been the reason why Son might have dipped in form?
Do you know what? I've had a big argument about this, and I'd say my initial answer was no, because when Conte first come in, which was November of 2021, we finished, obviously the season ended, we finished top 4.
Yeah.
And Son was the top goal scorer in the league.
Do you know what always come to my mind?
Go on.
Your pre-season when Son was on the floor. That always comes to my mind. I don't know why. I feel like maybe he took the best out of him.
I don't know, man. Cause
I think he let him cook. I think he let him cook because he's just come through. And then I think now, because when Conte had that full summer transfer or pre-season, I think he tried to instill something into Son, and I don't think it worked to his favour. I
don't know. It's a good debate to have. I think about that. But because for me, I'm on the fence with it. And I'll give you an answer to tell you that I'm on the fence with it because, like I said,
he's showing signs right now.
Son had his best season under Conte, so
yeah,
he did. It's a fact. He had his best season under Conte. But
do you think Conte had a lot because obviously he just came there? Do you think he didn't really try to change much?
Because we played in the system straight away. We played in the system straight away. 3-4-3. We played in the system straight away. But I think the problem with Son is of having the season he had.
Expectation levels
have rose. Not just that, but obviously, once you have an amazing season like that, all eyes are on you now, and teams are gonna set up to nullify you.
Yeah.
So I think that's another factor as well. And obviously, Son,
he's a target.
He can't play with his back to goal. Son needs to be facing goal and running at you.
Yeah.
And with Conte, he's always coming in to receive the ball off the defenders with his back to goal. And obviously, people coming in behind him and smashing him.
But this is what I'm saying. So now,
I see what you're saying. Yeah. So like I said, Son can't play with back to goal. So but whereas he was doing it last season, but teams wasn't ready for that yet.
Yeah.
Whereas now teams are ready for it. So that's probably the reason why it's happened, ended the way it ended. But yeah, man, we'll see anyway. Hopefully Son comes back firing next season. Obviously
he needs to
works harder and comes back stronger. But now we're gonna move on to the last part of the segment of this show. Chelsea got their little mention this week, beating Bournemouth 3-1. Lampard's first win.
They're rivals. Might as well be, man.
It's relegation, surviving relegation, obviously, mathematically.
I'm happy for Sterling.
I'm happy for Sterling. I'm happy for João Felix too.
João Felix, that guy, bro.
Nah, man. Shout out João Felix, man. That's my boy, man. I love João Felix. Nah, man. Good to see them two boys get on the score sheet and obviously help Chelsea win.
New boy Badashile as well.
Badashile scored. Cooks for the good header. It was a header, right?
I think so. I can't remember. I can't.
No, it was a header because it was from a set piece. It was from a set piece. Yeah, it was a header. Pretty sure it was. Yeah, man. Obviously, Bournemouth took the lead. Bournemouth took the lead.
And you thought at one point it might be.
Yeah.
Might be a thing where Bournemouth actually
again. Yeah, but then. So
it's crazy to think. I think Bournemouth would have been really disappointed with that loss.
I reckon so. So yeah, I think
they would have been really disappointed. Previous history before, you know what? Yeah, we'll take this. This is a free hit week, but I think they would have really fancied that.
Yeah, I reckon they would have. It would have been really up for that. That Vina guy looks like a good player.
They got a few. That's what I said.
He's part of the Argentinian World Cup squad as well. He got a medal.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So fair play to them. Obviously.
I didn't even realise.
Do you reckon Chelsea can find some form and end the season well now, or do you reckon?
Nah, man, they're just whatever.
It's done.
Yeah, man. They just knew they had to win today, innit? It just becomes too embarrassing. And like I said, I don't want to go back to Arsenal, but Jorginho, I think they're really missing that on him.
I don't know.
Organizer, man.
I like Enzo.
No, 100% Enzo's like the better, but again, you're missing that little, like you said, it goes unseen. The organisation, like you got Thiago there, but at the times I think Jorginho, like he's one of the main.
But remember, Jorginho was there for the first half of the season, and still
he wasn't playing as much though. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Chelsea, it's a weird one, man. You don't know what you're gonna get with them, man, because they just rolled over to us.
Madueke is looking looking
cold.
good.
Yeah, he's a good youngster, man.
He's
one of your boys, academy products. Done his trade in Holland and then
another one we fumbled. Now he looked bright the last couple of weeks, especially against you lot.
Yeah,
midweek as well.
He was the only bright spot for them.
Yeah,
I'll be real.
But bar that, no, it was good to see. Jav Felix needs to play. Sterling needs to play.
It's a system.
Gallagher scored obviously Chelsea's opening goal.
He's been one. I think getting Gallagher. He's the one that's been sort of trying to really like push at him for when he comes on, like really just show some intent. But yeah, man, I don't even care about that.
What next for Chelsea though? I think they're gonna.
Same thing again. Summer they got another big summer coming.
If Poch comes in, I reckon they'll be in and amongst top 4 and top 6 again.
But I don't know, man. Just
Poch
see what
will get them
do,
playing a certain way, and obviously we know how Poch is.
They need structure, and they ain't got no structure, man.
If Poch comes in, they'll have structure. And
again, I feel like a lot of players there are already on the exit door already. So
remains to be.
I don't think there's no chemistry in that team at the moment. Everyone's just there, Lampard's just dealing with a bunch of players. That's it. So I don't think you can't expect much for them this season now, man.
No, I'm talking about next season, bro.
Yeah, and for next season, it's just how the summer goes, man.
No,
because you got talks of people like Arsenal apparently going for Mount instead now.
Mount's been. Do you know
what I mean? Little things like that, and then so you got Aubameyang. Just loads of different players. Lukaku, that's what I'm saying. Well. You got what's my man again? Leipzig. Nkuku.
Oh yeah, he's coming in as well. Yeah,
Leipzig. That's what I'm saying. So you forget that these players that they've got.
I reckon Mudryk as well is going to come good next season. I think.
Yeah.
Because even against you lot in midweek when he come on, I feel like he looked. Obviously, he's got. I think when he played against you lot in midweek, he had something to prove, and especially with the reception he got as well, probably gave him a bit more motivation. But when
you see him hugging Arteta when he was warming up.
No, but I'm saying from the fans and
of course. But, like I said, but he's a young man. I can't really talk too much about him. Do you know what I mean?
I reckon he's gonna come. I reckon he'll come good eventually. I'm not gonna lie. He's like a player, and there's a player in there. But obviously, we're gonna move on to the last part. Obviously, we'll do predictions for tomorrow. Obviously, Fulham versus Leicester. What do you reckon? Fulham win? I reckon for Fulham at home at Craven Cottage. So I don't see nothing more than a Fulham win.
I think Leicester might nick it 2-1.
Shout.
Vardy looks like he's found a bit of his form.
I'm gonna go for a 1-0.
If Madders is still fit and Vardy, then I think they might win it 2-1.
I'll go for a 1-0 Fulham or a 1-1 draw.
I'll say 2-1 Leicester.
For Brighton versus Everton. Brighton at home at the Amex. I see a 2-0 Brighton for me.
It's a tough one, you know.
Brighton at home is cash money.
I'll say Brighton win, but I wouldn't be surprised if
Evans can grab something.
Yeah.
Fair. And lastly, Forest versus Southampton. I can see that being a
Forest 3-2.
You reckon? There'll be goals in that? Actually, I hear that.
I reckon.
I can either see it being a dull 0-0.
Only saying that because I got Morgan Gibbs on my bet on my fantasy.
I don't know, man. I see that being either a dull 0-0 draw, scrapey draw, like.
Nah, man. I think Forest at home they got goals, especially against teams.
I reckon it'll either be cagey or, like you said, like a high scoring game.
I think it'll be a high scoring game, man.
Both
teams are leaking goals, but even both teams they can get goals, especially against like them sort of teams in and around each other. I think they can get goals against each other. Forest have they picked up decent points at home, you know. Against
at home,
they beat Liverpool.
They got
a draw against City.
I don't know, man. They're like they hit and miss.
They hit and miss, but
all season.
They would fancy against Southampton.
I think anyone fancy against Southampton, but Southampton haven't been rolling over for everyone though. They haven't rolled. That's one thing I give Southampton. They've lost many games in the bottom of the table, but they haven't rolled over. The only problem they've had is holding on to their leads that they've been having. But nah, man, I don't know, man. I can't call that one. I'll be honest, I can't call that one. I'll say a Forest win, but I can't call a result.
I'll say probably goals in there, man. 3-2. I'll say close one where they'll just edge it because they got a big squad Forest as well, man.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, man, we'll see. But that's all we got time for, my boy. It's been a good little chat.
My pleasure, man.
1-on-1, man. It's been a good little chat. Hold it down for the boys that can't be here. Like, comment, subscribe. Come on, I wanna get to 100 subscribers by the summer.
Yeah, get to 100, man.
Get us to 100, man. Everyone lock in. You know what I'm saying? Everyone lock in. But yeah, that's all we got time for. See you again next week. Peace.